optional by 2045. Famous geneticists and also the authors of book Death of Death, Jose Codiaro and David Boone made this statement. There are few other geneticists who believe that the child who is going to live for more than 1,000 years is already born. And people are living longer, we all know that. But at the same time, right now, people started talking about health span rather than lifespan. So what I am actually talking about is the kind of transformation which is happening in the healthcare and especially in the health technology space. When people are talking with so much of confidence about living for more than 150 years, you better understand what's going on in this world of healthcare and health tech. There are majorly two trends which are happening right now, or rather I can put both of them in one single piece, which I can call it as people are getting ready to take charge of their own health and well-being, which in a way we can call it as biohacking. So when we talk about biohacking, what we mean is that, the way you can hack your own biology. The biology includes your physiology and also psychology, by the way. So it is not just self-medication. It is not just, treating yourself. It is more than understanding your own cells, understanding your own tissues, muscles, skeleton, understanding your own DNA, what's being coded, what is the coded information in your genes, and making modifications in your lifestyle, making such modifications which are scientific, proven, and evidence-based. Because we have enough technology right now available and also enough tools available right now to empower people to take charge of their own health and well-being. That's why biohacking is becoming a big trend. Now, if you look around, you can see that so many devices which are coming out. These devices are actually transforming the way we have been looking at health, or we have been thinking about health. Look at the CGMs which have come, the continuous glucose monitors, or the pocket-size ECG. Interestingly, earlier when we used to talk about ECG, we used to think about going to a clinic or maybe at least a lab and have all those kinds of nodes connected to your body and all those kinds of stuff. Right now, you can actually do your ECG at home. There is a portable, pocket-sized, 6-lead, medical-grade, FDA-approved devices available in India. So that means the entire world is changing. When we were talking about the kind of patterns or the frequencies of brain waves, we used to think about EEG, and for that it is a very cumbersome process. You need to go to a lab or a EEG center and do all those kinds of stuff. Right now you have got neurofeedback mechanisms. Just a headband, put it and you can see what's going on inside your brain on your mobile using the app. And also, with the power of artificial intelligence, these devices or these kind of tools or apps are giving you recommendations. This portable ECG device, it gives you whether you are recommendation, or rather at least it reads an ECG and tells you that whether your heart is functioning in the proper way or not. So this is the revolution which is happening around, which we can call it as quantified self tools. Quantified self tools or QSMs, this is going to be amazingly changing the entire landscape of healthcare and wellness. Most of the time we always believe in the conventional systems, and unfortunately, as you know, most of the people think about health when they are sick, but the time is gone. I would rather say that one of the good things which has happened after COVID-19 is that we started becoming more conscious about health. That is why we have started seeing oximeters, which we were not at all aware about till the COVID appeared. Most of the houses have got an oximeter right now. You are actually checking your oxygen in your blood. And right now we have a blood pressure measuring apparatus. It's a digital device which is available at every home. So the entire landscape of healthcare is changing because people have started quantifying their own health. That is why the quantified self tools, which are actually revolutionizing the way we have been looking at health and wellness. And along with that, the major advantage which happened is that so much of data is coming in, whether it is from the CGMs or whether it is from the feedback, neurofeedbacks, or whether it is from the ECG devices, anything to do with IoTs or sensor-based devices, or I call it as the QSTs, the quantified self tools. These are all giving you lots of information and data. And there are so many companies, there are so many startups especially have come up. They are actually reading those data and correlating those data and coming out with very useful user information, which helps us to really take charge of our own health and at the same time modify the lifestyle pattern so that we can prevent or block some of the lifestyle diseases which can happen. Another major trend which is happening right now in the health tech, and which is going to be a huge revolution in the healthcare space, is the advancement of epigenetics. And on one side you have the genetics, which genetic information. When I talk about genetic, I'm not just talking about the reproductive genetic testing or genetic testing people do to deep dive into diseases. I'm talking about consumer genetics. You know, the moment when you talk about consumer genetics, we are talking about a genetic testing by which you can decode your DNA and you will come to know about all the kinds of diseases for which you are carrying higher risk, what kind of genes are mutated, or gene variants which can actually result in some or other lifestyle diseases. This is what I'm talking about, the consumer genetics. So this test is right now available around the world. And now the most beautiful thing is that it's not just measuring the risk factors for diseases, it is also measuring how your cells respond to various nutrients, various exercises, how your muscles respond to various fitness programs. So you get a lot of information from that genetic data, or information from the genetic data, which is being derived from maybe 2 ml of your saliva. So that's a great information. But that information gives you the risk factors, and that information gives you which nutrients your cells are prone to absorb more and which nutrients your cells are weak to absorb. Those information is available from the genetic data. But when that is combined with AI, when that is combined with some other data, health data, like the data which comes from the wearables, the data which comes from all these different quantified self tools, you are actually getting a huge, massively personalized data. Now, for example, imagine when you have on other side the metabolic data. Metabolic data means the data which is being measured using for about your present health conditions. You know, your sleep patterns, your digestion patterns, your overall, metabolic actions which are happening inside your body. You have that data and you can correlate that data right now with the genetic data. Using the power of AI, and that gives you something called epigenetic lifestyle modification programs. Why I'm talking about this is because this is going to be a revolution. You know, when people are becoming more and more aware about wellness and they are becoming more and more health conscious, yes, that's a great thing. But at the same time, when it comes to health, people have no idea whom to contact, whom to go to. If you go to a fitness trainer, he can only give you a fitness plan. If you go to a dietitian or a nutritionist, they can give you a diet plan or a nutrition plan. But when it comes to total health, people are still confused. That's not the case with disease. People know that if it's disease, I need to go to a doctor. So when I want to maintain good health, whom should I contact? That's where these information, these data comes into play. Whereby on one side you have got the genetic data, on the other side you have got the metabolic assessment or metabolic data, and you have the data coming from various wearables, devices, the quantified self tools. Imagine the power of AI can come in and correlate this data and come out with highly personalized lifestyle modification programs, which is already happening right now. Which includes what kind of vegetables work for you, what kind of vegetables can harm you, what kind of exercise really give you results, what kind of exercise can really damage you. Even some of the fitness programs can damage your heart. Even for that matter, people go to keto diet, some people go for paleo diet, some people, they want to reduce their weight and they get into some diet programs. Understand one thing, that in your body there are 100,000 plus genes, plus at the same time maybe about 25,000 to 30,000 genes we have already the genes which are very prominent, which is being decoded right now. Now, interesting fact is that There are genes which are responsible with specific tasks like fat metabolism. There are few genes which are responsible for fat metabolism. Imagine a person who has got those genes impaired or those genes got some problem. Okay, the genes which are responsible for fat metabolism. And if you put that person into a keto diet, rest assured that he's going to have major health problems. Many people go and enroll for various weight loss program, and most of the weight loss programs we have seen that it's mainly meal replacements and high protein diet. Imagine a person who is having a gene which is responsible for protein metabolism impaired, and you put the person onto high protein diet. That can be disaster for his overall health. So now with the advancement of AI, the advancement of quantified self tools, all these things can be personalized. You can very well know that whether your genes which are responsible for fat metabolism is functioning properly or not. You can very well measure whether or analyze the genes which are responsible for protein metabolism is functioning well or not. Even to the extent that the genes which are responsible for your QT, which is basically connected with your heart health. If you have a gene which is responsible or which is actually behaving for QT interval or longer QT interval, and you can avoid HAIT or high cardio exercises which is not suitable for a person who is having a prolonged QT gene. So these are all information which is already available, and with the support of the health technology, the kind of devices and the kind of quantified self tools and the AI, we're getting a lot of information. Only thing is that people should be open towards it. And these trends can actually make a significant difference in the quality of life, because people want to live long. But at the same time that they want to live long, not just live long, they want to live healthy. Because living long is possible right now with the advancement of medical science. It is possible now. Many people are living longer. We all know that the average life expectancy in India itself, if you look at it, is going to touch about 75. That means 1 out of 3 people are going to live more than 100 years by 2025. That's a statistics which says that. But the challenge is at the age of 45 or 50, suppose if you are contracted with diabetes or hypertension or a heart attack, and after that you may be able to prolong your life or health or prolong your death. I don't know which phrase is right, with the support of medical science or medicines. But I can guarantee that will be at a lower energy level. You may not be able to maintain the same energy level. You may not have the same productivity. You may not be able to contribute the same to your family and to your society and your corporate or your company or your business. Because it is not just, living longer, it's actually dying longer. The moment you're contracted with one or other lifestyle disease and you're extending your death, means you are actually dying longer. What we need to look at is how can we live longer with absolute health and energy and vitality and performing at peak levels in all areas of our life, which is possible right now. The advancement of genetics and the advancement of IoT and AI and all these things are bringing in massive revolution in the entire healthcare industry. Right now, I would rather say that no other industry is going through such a revolution as the healthcare industry right now, with the support of all this kind of technological advancements. So the days are not far away when we are going to see people are going to live more than 100 years, not just living 100 years, with absolute health, happiness, with absolute energy, performing at peak levels and contributing the best to their society. So that's going to happen in the future, and we are all quite excited about it. I personally, as a peak performance coach and also a longevity researcher, too much excited about the kind of advancements which are happening in the healthcare and health tech space.